Good morning, YouTube. Today I want to talk about cars. Surprise, surprise for me. But more importantly, it's how to, I don't really know how to say this because it's about how to deep clean a car. And I more mean on the paint of the car. But right now I have my sister's car and I'm giving it a nice detail. She just paid it off, so it's kind of like a good job painting your car off kind of whatever. But this paint is not the best, so what we're gonna do is basically the whole process for me of this car is I'm going to wash the car, I'm going to clay bar the car, I'm going to paint correct the car, and I'm gonna do the interior. But basically, by wash, I don't mean just your normal wash that you would do if your car had a wax or a coating or whatever on it. This is a different kind of wax, and so I'm going to actually bring out the products that I'm going to use. I'm basically going to show you that and show you the step-by-step method on how I clean a car the way that I would for like a client. So like this is my sister's car, but I'm treating it like I would a client. This is exactly the steps that I would go through. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out all the products that I need and I'm going to kind of show them to you one by one and talk to them. So without further ado, let's get started. Here are the things that you are going to need 100% to do something like this. And I'm not going to show you how to do wheels and tires yet. It takes a little bit of time, and I mean, you basically I'll show you the tools that you need, but I'm not going to go in depth into that, just the paint of the car, because wheels and tires can wait, basically. Anyway, so the first thing you need is a bucket. Now this is my wheel and tire bucket. I was on top of another bucket, but wheel and tire bucket. For the wheels, or for the tires, you're going to use like a tire brush. There's like it's like a tough bristle brush that you're going to use on the tires to kind of get the dirt and grime off. I have a rim brush. It's kind of a very soft brush. Tire and lug nut brush, so like for the lug nuts, you know. And then I have this long handled brush for the inside of the fenders. Basic stuff. The next thing you're going to need are 2 buckets with grit guards on the inside of them. And a grit guard, oh yay! Don't mind these for just a second. A grit guard is this, and basically what it is, actually, is you take your pad, when you're done with it, after a couple panels, we'll get into that later, you rub it on the bottom of the pad. When it's in there, you rub it against the bottom, and what it does is these take the dirt and grime that you pick up from the car and then puts it on the bottom and traps it so that you can't pick it up and use it on the paint again, which is a good thing. So yeah, 2 buckets, both with grit guards. In Chris Fix's video, he said just the one with the water. I like both. So you can, the one with the water, you rub it down, you get it all off first, and then you put it in the soapy water, and if you rub it against the grit guard in the soapy water as well, it just kind of, basically, if you rub the grit guard on both of them, it helps eliminate all the dirt that you pick up off of the car, and that's kind of the way that you want, is no dirt, no grime, nothing getting back on the paint. So these, you need. The next product is a strip wash kind of thing. So I use the product Limitless Car Care. It's probably a little blurry, but I love Limitless Car Care. My car is sponsored by them, and this is their strip down wash. I love this for when I'm doing a fresh detail of a car because it basically removes all polish, all wax, all oils, not all grime, but basically it removes the paint to like factory paint. So there's nothing on top of it. There are still some particles embedded in the paint that you have to pick up, but this basically gets it all clean and ready to go. So this is a #1 product. It's not full right now, but Decon Degreaser is what you're going to use for wheels, tires, inner fender wells, and leather seats or interior. So I'll go over that in another video, but you use it for interior. I always bring this out just because I'm always using this product. The next thing is a clay bar, so I keep it in this jar just because it keeps it away from all the elements. Clay bar is what you're going to do. You're going to rub it on the paint after it's all washed, after it's all clean, and it's just going to pick up all these particles that are embedded in the paint, and that's what you need to do to be able to paint correct or wax or seal. You need to use a clay bar. Next, you need a foam gun. Now, there are two different types of these things. There's the foam gun, which I have. This is from Adam's Polish. Basically, the foam gun, what it does, just kind of puts a layer of wash concentrate on the car so that you can wash without like rubbing the particles into the paint more. So it kind of just adds a lubricated layer of protection is the way to say it. So you need one of these. This is the handle that goes with the Adam's Polishes foam gun. I recommend the Adam's Polishes foam gun. Limitless doesn't have a foam gun, so I can't recommend theirs. They have a foam cannon, and that's basically just if you use a pressure washer, the pressure washer can pressure wash the car, and then you use a foam cannon, and it's just kind of like a better foam gun, basically. My pressure washer broke, unfortunately, so I'm going to show you how to do this with a hose, which is fine because most people don't have a pressure washer. You need these two. It clips in like that, and it's like that. The next thing you want is a tire shine. So this is called grip gloss. Again, it's probably blurry, but grip gloss. I love grip gloss from Limitless Car Care. It basically, what it does is it makes the tires black. So after you've cleaned the tires, scrub the grime out of them, let them dry, you spray it on an applicator. I use this. You spray it on, and you wipe it on the tires, and it just makes the tires black and keeps them clean, keeps them like, it's like a sealant for the tires. That's the way that I think of it. So these two things used for that. So in the bio of this video, I will put a little list of stuff that I would think would be good for just this detail, but it'll all be Limitless Car Care stuff, so just warning you there. But I'll put in a link and it'll be good to go. And then on a normal day, like a maintenance detail, so after you've done what we're gonna do today, on a normal maintenance detail, you would use like a car soap. So Limitless Lather is kind of just, it says enhancing maintenance soap. So it's basically you maintain your coat by using something like this. So that's kind of it. That's really all you need are those products. I'd say you can get set up with my discount code, which I meant to say at the start, discount codes will be popping up every so often. Take that discount code and use it on Limitless with the stuff on the bottom. You'll get 15% off. So without further ado, I'm going to start cleaning the car. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the wheels and tires first, so you're going to see water on the ground at the next shot, and we're just going to start it. I always recommend keeping a towel with you, especially if you're in Dallas or in any hot area, because you're going to get sweaty, you're going to get water on your hands, and if you need to touch something, it's better to use a towel. Just easy. But anyway, so I've cleaned the wheels and tires. Those are all done. That's the first thing you want to do before you do anything else. Clean the wheels and tires. Nothing else you want to do first, because once you've washed it and dried it, let's say you wash and dry it, and then you're like, oh, I need to do the wheels and tires, and you spray it, it's going to start spraying water on the places that you just did. And you're going to be like, why? That's why. So first you want to clean it. Now, the way that you prep for a wash is you take your buckets. Give me one sec. I'm back. You take your buckets. Let me get a close up. So you have your buckets. Take off the top. Take off the top. Now, I forgot to mention these. These are the wash mitts that you'll get from Limitless. I like these a lot better than pads. Basically, they just have a little bit extra more room, so you can see, here, let me see. You can see that there's like more room in there. It traps all the dirt. Love these things. So you want to get two of them. You want one, and I'll show you this in there, for the top half, one for the bottom half, because you want to keep the bottom half one separate from the top half because it's going to get dirtier. So you take these, and you take your strip down wash. I always overdo it, but I kind of do little twirls. Then you do it in the bottom of the bucket. Throw this down on top. Make sure the soapy part is on top, the non-soapy part is on the bottom. Same thing you're going to do here. Take it. And I either do like an M and then an N, kind of both ways, and then flip it down so that the soapy parts are touching each other. And then I kind of do another M and sideways M on top of that. And then I just kind of throw a little more around, just because I like to get the soapiest suds you can. Then with your water running, you want to fill this bucket up full of water to the brim. You can do it with the hose head off or on. I chose to do it with the hose head on just because the water was running after the tires, and that's how you do it. Now normally what I would do is I would do this before I do the tires, just because in the heat, any water that gets on the paint can leave water spots, and you don't want that. So normally I do this beforehand, but I wanted to show you, and I just wanted to get the tires done at least. So now you're onto this bucket. And basically you're just gonna spray on top, and then you're gonna lift underneath, spray there so there's suds, and then you're just kind of fill the rest of the bucket up. I do the water first so you don't get any soapy water on this, and then put it in the water bucket. But you'll see how this goes. So you want to go until the foam gets all the way to the top with your hand down at the bottom, and then just kind of one little more, and there you go. Now you're going to go on to the foam gun. And I like to put water in here first, just because once you have product, oh lordy, once you have product in there, it's going to foam up too much, so you clean it out, and then if you're using the Adams Polish, this foam gun, do it to the ridge, fill it up with water to the ridge-ish. And then you're going to throw product in there, just kind of like you did with that. You're just going to, now you don't, oh lord, blooper reel. Now you don't have to do as much product as I do. I just do this way because it's how I do it. I don't know. So you're going to fill that up, put this on top, and I like to give it a good shake, just to kind of get all that product mixed up in there. Okay, now back to the car. You want to move these out of the way. You want to do a first rinse. You want to start from the top and go down. Now I have a camera set up over there, so I'm not going to do it that way, this way first. I'm just going to kind of spray it this way, so I don't hit the camera. So just bear with me for a second. I'm going to try and like speed through this in fast motion on both cameras, so just bear with me. So I meant to kind of show you before and afters, and I forgot, and I'm really frustrated, but let me just do this real quick. I don't know if you can see this, but there's basically bird poop all over the car. The top is pretty bad. I don't know if you can see any of this, but basically the sides are pretty bad too. There's a lot of dirt and a lot of grime on there. Let's see if I can get it to the back. Sorry about all the rotor noises and everything. I'm trying to do my best. Basically here, I don't know if you can see any of that, but basically like you see these streaks from the water already. That's all gross grime and dirt, and that's what I'm trying to get off. So normally a car won't look this bad unless you don't wash it ever, but that's the way that it is. Sorry about this video. I'm not great at making videos or vlogs, but basically, yeah, that's the way that you do it. That's what I'm trying to remove, is all of that crap. So I'm just gonna basically keep going around the whole car, wash it down, and then when we get to the foam cannon, I'll show you that. Now that I've sprayed off the whole car, the next thing we're going to do is take our foam gun and foam down the whole car. You kind of, this is kind of how you want to do it. Just kind of start from the top again and just spray all over the car. Spray it. And you just let it get all over the car. And just go around the whole car like this. You can get the wheels and tires again, it's up to you. I do sometimes, but I'm also waiting for the pressure to come back on. There we go. So you just go around the whole car like this and let it do its thing. Okay, now that I'm done with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you do a panel with the wash mitts. So you first want to take this. I like to start on the hood, but today I'll show you with these two panels at least, and then fast forward through it, make it go quicker. So you take your wash mitt, get it nice and full of suds, and just kind of rub it one way. Don't do circles, because if you do circles over the paint, that's where you're gonna put the love circle, like swirl love marks, basically. So you do it one time, maybe a couple times. If you see something, lightly scrub it off. But you want to do that, and then I always go with the glass. At least half the glass. And you're gonna see it's getting pretty dirty. So normally I do 2 panels with one side, but if you can see that, that's how dirty it's gotten. That's how clean the other side is. So it gets dirty real quick when you're doing a car like this. So you're just gonna bring it down and do this. No circle motions, just up and down and horizontal. Normally I'd also do the roof right now with this pad, but the roof is so bad. I mean, this car is in detailing standard, terrible condition. But that's why I'm doing this. Look, runaway leaf. So what you're gonna do is after you've done 2 panels, 1 on each side. I did a little more than that. Don't follow my instruction. This is just how I do it in my mind. You're gonna take it and you're gonna rub it against the grit guard in the water bucket. Now, I'm gonna warn you, if you don't like getting wet, don't wash your car, because you're gonna get soaking wet. So rub it out, rub it down, and squeeze it out. And it'll be so much better. See? All the fingers are pretty clean. And they were dirty, you just saw that. So, I'm gonna go around and do the rest of the car and just kind of either skip it or speed it up. Some parts, I don't know, the video is gonna probably get a little long. So if you guys watch it all, thank you, love it. Please hit that subscribe and like button. I'm gonna do more of this, but right now I'm just gonna finish the car so I can get it done, get to the final step, and then show you clay, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, but real quick, this is what I was to show you. So half the car is top, half of it is bottom. So I'm stopping like kind of right there, right where the top of the tire is. That's kind of the half and half that I was saying, why you'd want 2 wash mitts. Okay, I didn't want to show you anything more, but look at that. That's just from like the little bottom part of the rocker. This is why you use 2 mitts, because you don't want to rub that back on the paint. So I'm gonna rub it on the grit guard, and and I'll show you the before and after. So I'm rubbing it on the grit guard. I'm not going to pull out another pad, so don't worry. This is why you have a grit guard. It's not like 100% better, but I use this only for the bottom anyway. But like you can see, it's pretty good. That's why you use the grit guard. It saves it. Okay, so I don't know what the video kind of got cut off because I know some of it, so real quick, I'm going to rinse down the car, and then I'm going to fill a bottle with some limitless lather and water and go ahead and clay the car. Because with the clay, you're going to pick up all the contaminants that you don't want in the pad when you're polishing or a pad when you're waxing. Okay, so I got my soap and water mixed, and I've got a clay bar. So what you're basically going to do is it's going to be light. You don't want to push hard. You're just going to spray this on the car. Get it nice and soaked. And basically, you don't want to dry your car first. You want to do this. You want to pick the side that's the most clean, and you just want to rub. Very lightly. Rub. So you pick up all the contaminants that are in the paint. You'll be able to hear the clay bar working too. So you'll know when the spot is done. But you just want to do this and go around the whole car, especially the glass. Definitely do the glass. And then just kind of do the whole car. And once you're done with the whole car, then you can rinse it off and dry it. But you have to do this step before you do any kind of wax or sealant or anything. So you're going to do that around the whole car, and every time you get too dirty, you flip it over and you work on another side. Okay, so I dried the car, clayed the car, and this is what it looks like. You can see that reflection again. It's all clean and clayed. It's all clean and clayed. So I dried it. In Texas, you have to get to it as quick as possible, so I couldn't get to show you how to dry. I'll show you that in another video. But that's the car. That's basically the transformation of the car. I will see you all in the next video.